for some people, the whole investment piece is so far away, and they're still working on simple things like having 3 months worth of savings or 6 months or a year, or even just paying off that debt that they've accumulated. There's a certain level of commitment, consistency, and discipline that they need to have. I mean, I've certainly experienced it when I was trying to manage my debt. And so I wonder, have there been any WhatsApp statuses that you've put up about the tips on how to stay committed, or what you have done in the past to stay committed?
Yeah, that also goes back to understanding of self. Let's be honest, for some of us, we do kind of like that validation from other people, but it's not like you walk around and to be like, hey, you're making fun of me for being so disciplined and being a saver, but look at where my investments are at. Something that I've challenged people to do is to give themselves small wins. And going back to like what you said, like we reach a very small goal, right? It's minuscule towards the long-term thing, but the fact that you're stuck to it, hey man, treat yourself to a night out. Go have that wine, go have that spa day, go have that something just to, reward yourself. One thing I've also started doing, especially for my clients that are parents, is see what knowledge you gained over the investment journey and have that conversation with your children and see from the questions that you're getting, have you gone into a stage where you can explain exactly what you're doing and your child understands? Because essentially, I think for me, a big thing is legacy, especially with parents. Your children are constantly watching. And those money habits, Tsitsi, they form at such a young age, right? Whether you're a giver, whether, you've got anxiety about money, that's formed at such a young age. So as a parent, if you're investing, you actually have a great responsibility in terms of incorporating your children and giving them a healthy relationship with money as well. So that's also something that I've started. And then the other one is to really be realistic in terms of what we're trying to do. Because I find sometimes we get tired of chasing this goal because in our mind, it was never really realistic. These are the clients where you've done the proposal, you've done everything, you've explained everything, and then maybe they're getting 10% a year. It's year 3. But in their head, as much as they said, we're doing this for X amount of time, in year 3, they were going to be going for vacation in Greece with their capital returns, and that this secret hope that they never really disclosed to me that, Tiri, with 3 years, we're going to be doing this. But that was never realistic. And so I find that always knowing exactly what your true intrinsic goal is helps you stay committed. And that's what I try to incorporate with some of my clients.
You've hit the nail on the head there. It's all about that sort of knowing your why. And as you said right at the beginning, your goal has to be so much bigger than yourself. That's when you can really start being very committed to whatever it is you're trying to achieve, whether it is building savings, having £1,000 of savings, for some of us, that's where we started. And I remember trying to get to £1,000 of savings. It took so long. It took so long. I started off saving £5 a month. And I remember when I had 500, I was like, wow, this is amazing. I'm going to get to that 1,000.
Yeah.
And then I got a call from people back home and the money disappeared. And I was like, well, that's it. What's the point? And it took me so long to get back to that 500 and then then cross over into the 1,000. But I had to also sort of think about, if I want to keep helping people, I have to give from my overflow and not from the cup that's half empty, because then I'm taking away from me. So, my goal is always put myself first. And the things that I want for myself are just so huge and outrageous that I need to save.